What's going on? It's your brother James, Noid-Binns, coming to you guys with another TikTok video here on today. Good evening, good morning, good night, wherever you guys are watching this video from. I am teaching on the topic in this video. These things will happen in the 7 great years of tribulations, part 39 of this topic and of this video, along with the topic, Babylon's fall, treasures in heaven, comfort and peace. I'll be reading and also starting from Revelation chapter 18, verses 11 through 16. By the way, I'm reading from the King James Version. You guys can also go here on my account on TikTok and look at the videos I've dropped recently and see why I'm on part 39 of this topic. Now, verse 11 of again, Revelation 18. And the merchants of the earth shall weep and mourn over her, for no man buys their merchandise anymore. Verse 12, the merchandise of gold and silver, and precious stones, of pearls and fine linen, and purple and silk, and scarlet, and all thine wood, and all manner vessels of ivory, and all manner vessels of most precious wood, and of brass and iron and marble. Verse 13, and cinnamon, and odors, and ointments, and frankincense, and wine, and oil, and fine flour, and wheat, and beast, and sheep, and horses, and chariots, and slaves, and souls of men. Verse 14, and the fruits that your soul lusted after are departed from you, and all things which were dainty and goodly are departed from you, and you shall find them no more at all. Verse 15, the merchants of these things which were made rich by her shall stand afar off for the fear of her torment, weeping and wailing. Verse 16, and saying, Alas, alas, that great city that was clothed in fine linen, and purple and scarlet, and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls. I also want to go to Matthew chapter 6, verse 19 through 21. Verse 19, lay not up for yourselves treasures upon earth, where moth and rust does corrupt, and where thieves break through and steal. Verse 20, but lay up for yourselves treasures in heaven, where neither moth nor rust does corrupt, and where thieves do not break through nor steal. Verse 21, for where your treasure is, there will your heart be also. I also want to go to John chapter 14, verses 1 through 3. Verse 1, let not your heart be troubled. Believe in God, believe also in me. Verse 2, in my Father's house are many mansions. If it were not so, I would have told you. I go to prepare a place for you. Verse 3, and if I go and prepare a place for you, I will come again and receive you unto myself, that where I am, there you may be also. Also going to reshare again the Bible verses and then the meanings for each verse as well. Going back to Revelation chapter 18, verses 11 through 16, and then so on and so forth. So starting from verse 11 again, where it says that, and the merchants of the earth shall weep and mourn over her, for no man buys their merchandise anymore. It means that those who have sold their souls to this system will now weep and mourn over her destruction. Verse 12, the merchandise of gold and silver and precious stones and of pearls and fine linen and purple and silk and scarlet and all thine wood and all manner vessels of ivory and all manner vessels of most precious wood and of brass and iron and marble. Verse 13, and cinnamon and odors and ointments and frankincense and wine and oil and fine flour and wheat and beast and sheep and horses and chariots and slaves and souls of men. Means the last phrase probably refers to the drug business. Verse 14, and the fruits that your soul lusted after are departed from you, and all things which were dainty and goodly are departed from you, and you shall find them no more at all. Means this proclaims the fallacy of investing in a system of this world instead of the things of God. Matthew chapter 6, verse 19 through 21 talks about. Verse 15, where it says, the merchants of these things which were made rich by her, shall stand afar off for the fear of her torment, weeping and wailing. Means the idea is that the system of this world, symbolized by rebuilt Babylon, is about to end with another system taking its place, which will be the kingdom of our Lord. Last but not least, verse 16, and saying, alas, alas, that great city, that was clothed in fine linen and purple and scarlet, and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls. Means this points to a conclusion regarding the word great, which is not shared by the Lord. Back to Matthew chapter 6, verses 19 to 21. Verse 19, where it states, lay not up for yourselves treasures upon earth. Means everything on the earth is temporal. Then where it also states, last verse 19, where moth and rust does corrupt, and where thieves break through and steal. Means if the eye be set upon treasures on earth, the life and character of the believer will be shrouded in moral darkness. Verse 20, but lay up for yourselves treasures in heaven, where neither moth nor rust does corrupt, and where thieves do not break through nor steal. Verse 21, for where your treasure is, there will your heart be also. Means a man's aim determines his character. If that aim be not simple and heavenward, but earthward, and double, all the faculties and principles of his nature will become a mass of darkness. It is impossible to give a divided allegiance. And I'm also going back to, last but not least, John chapter 14, verses 1 through 3. Verse 1, where it says again, let not your heart be troubled. Means it's said by Christ immediately after predicting Peter's shameful denial, which Peter did deny Christ 3 times when Christ got, arrested and then headed. You guys know. Some of you know. I'll share it in the comment section. Then it also states in verse 1, you believe in God, believe also in me. Means simply to have faith in him as they had faith in God. This is his highest and most complete revelation of himself as God. Verse 2, in my Father's house are many mansions. Means proclaims heaven as a large place, a place so large actually that its possibilities transcend one's imagination and exceed our comprehension. Then it also states in verse 2, if it were not so, I would have told you. Means has reference to the fact that he is speaking from firsthand knowledge. Firsthand knowledge he is speaking from. Last but not least, in verse 2, I go to prepare a place for you. Refers to him personally superintending this extra building project in heaven. Verse 3, and if I go and prepare a place for you, I will come again and receive you unto myself. Means proclaims the first mention of the rapture of the church, which 1 Thessalonians chapter 4, verse 13 through 18 talks about. Then it also states in verse 3 that where I am, there you may be also. Means refers to heaven, where the saints of God will go at the resurrection. And see, we're living in the last days right now. But what's at hand is the coming of Christ. Not the second coming, but the day of the Lord is at hand. Whether you say the word rapture, caught up, the casting away, it's the same thing. It's just different words and different translations. But see, the word rapture is not in the Bible. It's actually a mystery. The rapture is a mystery. And it's something that's amazing and something that will happen. That's an event that Christians should not miss out on, should not be left behind. We should be focused and have on our minds on Christ and things up above, things in heaven, not the things of this world. Because the things of this world will pass away. But see, the Antichrist, when he gets here in the 7 grades of tribulations, he's going to talk about selfishness, unrighteous things, power, religious things, things not of God the Father, things not of Jesus Christ, man-made traditions.